Roadside accidents are a chilling reminder of how quickly life can change in an instant. Some crashes are tragic but ordinary, but others are so bizarre, shocking, or downright horrifying that they leave a lasting mark on those who hear about them. From sudden collisions on isolated highways to terrifying encounters with reckless drivers, these roadside deaths push the boundaries of disbelief, showing just how fragile life can be when danger strikes without warning. In this video, we dive into 5 of the most horrifying roadside deaths ever recorded, each more shocking than the last.
Following the tragic tanker explosion in Niger, the state government says it will set up a mechanism to enforce roadworthiness of articulated vehicles in order to avert a recurrence of such tragic incidents.
It was an ordinary morning in Suleja, Niger State, Nigeria, in January 2025, sunlight spilling over the roads, people beginning their daily routines, unaware that fate was about to strike in the most devastating way. A massive fuel tanker, loaded with roughly 60,000 liters of petrol, lost control while navigating the busy Dikko junction and overturned, spilling its deadly cargo across the highway. The pungent smell of gasoline filled the air, and word spread quickly among the locals. Drawn by curiosity, desperation, or the temptation of free fuel, residents rushed to the scene. Children ran alongside adults, their laughter and shouts masking the invisible threat looming over them, completely oblivious to the deadly danger they were stepping into. And then it happened. A spark from a nearby generator, being used to transfer fuel, ignited the gasoline in a flash. In an instant, a monstrous fireball erupted, consuming everything in its path. The flames shot high into the sky, devouring the tanker, nearby shops, and the crowd of people frozen in shock. Chaos erupted, screams pierced the air, smoke and heat swirled, and the scene descended into pure terror. In mere moments, dozens of lives were violently snuffed out, and the firestorm burned so intensely that many victims were left beyond recognition. Over 100 people perished, their bodies charred and unidentifiable, while dozens more were rushed to hospitals, many clinging to life as medics struggled to provide care amidst the overwhelming influx of critically injured patients. Eyewitnesses described the horror as almost unimaginable. Families who had come together in the morning were torn apart within seconds. Some tried desperately to help others escape the inferno. Others were trapped, their frantic efforts to salvage something from the overturned tanker sealing their fates. Shops and homes that once lined the junction were reduced to blackened, smoldering ruins. The air was thick with acrid smoke, mingling with the cries of survivors and the sirens of emergency responders struggling to reach the scene. Officials rushed to respond, but even their trained teams were overwhelmed. Emergency crews and volunteers worked tirelessly, digging mass graves by hand to give the victims a proper burial. The scale of loss left the entire community stunned and heartbroken, grappling with the senselessness of a disaster that could have been prevented. Governor Mohamed Umaru Bago described the tragedy as worrisome, unfortunate, and heartbreaking, urging Nigerians to always respect the lethal dangers posed by overturned tankers. And yet, tragically, such incidents are far from rare in Nigeria, where poorly maintained roads, overloaded vehicles, and the lure of free fuel have turned ordinary highways into potential death traps. The Suleja tanker explosion stands as a stark, chilling warning. A single moment of curiosity, a split-second decision, or simply being in the wrong place at the wrong time can collide with fate in a way that changes lives forever. What started as an everyday morning ended as one of the deadliest roadside tragedies in Nigeria's recent history, leaving families shattered, communities scarred, and the memory of that fiery catastrophe etched into the nation's consciousness. It is a tragedy that reminds us, with brutal clarity, how fragile life is, and how quickly ordinary circumstances can turn into extraordinary horror.
At least 9 people have been killed and 4 injured when an oil tanker caught fire in Lagos.
It was a busy day along the Ibadan-Ife Expressway in Nigeria on 5th November 2000. Traffic crawling as usual, people going about their routines, unaware that one of the deadliest road disasters in history was about to unfold. A petrol tanker, heavily laden and speeding, failed to brake in time. In a horrifying instant, it plowed into a long line of stationary vehicles, turning the highway into a scene from a nightmare. The impact triggered an immense explosion, a fireball that leapt into the sky, engulfing cars, buses, and anyone unfortunate enough to be caught in its path. The devastation was unimaginable. Vehicles were obliterated in a wide swath around the crash site, twisted metal melting under the heat, flames roaring, and smoke billowing high into the sky. Hundreds of people were burned, some beyond recognition, their desperate screams swallowed by the inferno. Hospitals in Oyo State were immediately overwhelmed, unable to cope with the sheer number of victims. Families arrived frantic, some trying to rescue loved ones from the wreckage, only to be met with the horrifying reality that many had already perished. Estimates of the death toll remain uncertain to this day. Official reports counted around 96 bodies, yet eyewitnesses and rescue volunteers hinted at numbers far higher, possibly up to 200. Many victims were buried hastily by relatives or cremated in the blaze, leaving the true scale of the disaster shrouded in uncertainty. Over 100 vehicles were destroyed in the chaos, a stark testament to the explosive power of the tanker and the fragility of human life in a single split second. The tragedy was compounded by controversy. Just months earlier, similar tanker crashes had claimed over 150 lives, and public outrage at the authorities' negligence was already simmering. In the hours following the Ibadan Ife explosion, stories emerged suggesting that an impromptu police roadblock had caused the unusual traffic jam, forcing vehicles to stop abruptly and leaving the tanker driver no room to maneuver. Whether true or not, the authorities' absence and slow response fueled anger and disbelief as people struggled to come to terms with yet another preventable catastrophe. Among the victims were everyday Nigerians, families, workers, and even a newlywed couple burned beyond recognition in the inferno. The fire transformed what should have been a normal day on the highway into a scene of unimaginable horror. For the people of Ibadan and Ife, the disaster left scars that ran far deeper than the physical destruction of cars and asphalt. It was a chilling reminder that life can be extinguished in the blink of an eye, and that sometimes tragedy strikes not because of fate, but because of human error, negligence, and the cruel unpredictability of the road.
After toddler Wang Yu was hit by vans, she eventually ended up getting medical treatment at a military hospital.
On the afternoon of 13th October 2011, in the bustling streets of Foshan, Guangdong Province, China, an ordinary day turned into a nightmare that would haunt the nation for years to come. 2-year-old Wang Yue, a lively and curious little girl, had wandered briefly away from her home while her mother hurried to collect laundry during a sudden thunderstorm. In the blink of an eye, she stepped into a narrow, crowded market street, completely unaware of the danger that awaited her. Within moments, a white van appeared. What should have been a minor accident spiraled into a tragedy when her small body was struck and pinned under the vehicle's wheels, leaving her bleeding, terrified, and helpless on the asphalt. What makes this story truly horrifying is not the accident itself, but what came after. For several agonizing minutes, Wang lay there, crying out in pain, as people passed her by. At least 18 strangers, captured on CCTV, skirted around her, some pausing to look before moving on, none offering assistance. It was as if the world itself had turned away from her suffering. And then, as if the universe wanted to deepen the cruelty, a second vehicle ran over her legs, inflicting further injury on the fragile little girl already clinging to life. Every second that passed added weight to the horror, magnifying the helplessness of a tiny child left abandoned in the middle of a busy street. For 8 long days, Wang fought desperately in a hospital, her tiny body battling injuries no child should ever endure. But despite the efforts of doctors and nurses, she could not survive. Her death sent shockwaves across China and the world, and the footage of her final moments circulated widely, sparking outrage, grief, and intense debate about human decency, social responsibility, and the frightening cost of fear and indifference. Many speculated that the bystanders' paralysis stemmed from fear, a fear rooted in earlier cases, like the infamous Peng Yu incident, in which a Good Samaritan who tried to help an injured victim was accused of causing the injury himself and forced to pay for medical expenses. Wang's death exposed a chilling moral dilemma. In some societies, doing the right thing can feel more dangerous than doing nothing at all. Amid the tragedy, there was a glimmer of hope. Chen Xianmei, a female scavenger, finally broke through the crowd's apathy. She picked up Wang and rushed her to the hospital, embodying courage and compassion in a moment when most people looked away. Her actions stood in stark contrast to the indifference surrounding her, a fleeting yet powerful reminder that human kindness still exists, even in the darkest moments. The driver of the van that struck Wang was later tried and convicted of involuntary homicide, receiving a sentence of 3.5 years, which many saw as far too light for the gravity of the life lost. Wang Yue's death became a national wake-up call. The public outcry spurred lawmakers to pass regional Good Samaritan laws, and by 2017, China had introduced a national law designed to protect those who help others in distress. Yet, the memory of that day remains haunting. A tiny child lying in a busy street, the crowd walking past as life slipped away, and the question that echoes in the minds of millions: what would we have done if we were there? Her story continues to resonate across the globe, a devastating reminder that life is fragile and that moments of crisis demand courage, empathy, and decisive action. Wang Yue's death may have been small in scale, but its moral impact was enormous. It forced societies to confront the uncomfortable truth of human indifference and challenge the world to be better, to act when someone's life hangs in the balance, and to remember that even a single hand extended in kindness can make the difference between life and death. Even years later, the haunting images of that street in Foshan serve as a moral compass, a stark testament to the importance of compassion over fear, and a reminder that humanity is measured not by what we pass by, but by what we choose to act upon in the moments that matter most. On the afternoon of 5th September 2013, a busy intersection in Pinetown, South Africa, became the site of a nightmare that would shock the nation. Down the steep incline of Fields Hill, a massive truck barreled forward, careening uncontrollably toward the traffic below. The light at the junction of Richmond and Josiah Gumede roads turned green, and vehicles including minibuses packed with homebound commuters began to move. Moments later, without slowing, the truck plowed straight into them. The collision was instantaneous, violent, and devastating. The scene was pure chaos. Cars and minibuses were crushed under the enormous weight of the 18-wheeler. Metal twisted, glass shattered, and screams pierced the air. Flames and smoke erupted from the wreckage, adding to the horror as first responders and bystanders rushed to the scene, powerless to stop the carnage. At least 27 people lost their lives in seconds, and dozens more were left critically injured, their futures forever altered in the blink of an eye. Dashcam and security footage captured the crash in harrowing detail, showing the sheer force of the truck's impact and the helplessness of those caught in its path. Investigations later revealed that brake failure was a major factor in the disaster, and the truck's license had recently expired. The driver, Sanale Goodness May, a 23-year-old from Swaziland, was arrested and later sentenced to 8 years in prison after pleading guilty to multiple charges, including reckless driving and homicide. Yet, even as justice was pursued, the aftermath left families shattered and communities reeling. Those who survived were scarred, not only physically, but emotionally, bearing witness to the scale of destruction caused by a single vehicle barreling down a hill. The tragedy sparked outrage and a broader conversation about road safety in South Africa. Experts pointed to systemic issues: long hours for truck drivers, fatigue, poor vehicle maintenance, and inadequate traffic policing, all combining to create a deadly environment on the nation's roads. Statistics are grim. Around 40 people die every day on South African roads, with accidents involving trucks often leaving the highest toll of fatalities and injuries. For the people of Pinetown, Fields Hill became a symbol of preventable tragedy, a a place where a moment of mechanical failure turned an ordinary day into one of unimaginable horror. Local leaders and officials vowed to improve safety, but for those who lost loved ones that day, the pain is permanent. The Pinetown truck crash stands as a chilling reminder of how fragile life can be on the road, and how a split second, a single vehicle, or mechanical failure can snatch away dozens of lives in an instant. It is a tragedy that lingers in memory, a warning to every driver and every commuter that the line between safety and catastrophe is razor thin, and that caution and vigilance are never optional. They are essential for survival. In the early hours of 9th June 2025, the east-west highway near Garek-Perak, Malaysia, became the site of a horror that would shake the nation. A privately chartered bus carrying 42 university students returning from the Eid al-Adha holiday barreled down the dark, winding highway. Most passengers were asleep, unaware that the journey home would turn into a nightmare. The bus, descending a steep right-hand curve at high speed, attempted to overtake a Honda Odyssey in front of it. Witnesses would later recall the driver shouting, agitated and erratic, as the vehicle swerved dangerously. In those terrifying moments, control was lost. The bus veered into the path of a Perodua Alza minivan, colliding with it violently. The impact sent the minivan spinning, while the bus struck the guardrail with crushing force, tearing through metal and structural pillars, before finally flipping onto its side near a ravine. Passengers were thrown violently from their seats, landing in ditches along the roadside. The scene was chaotic and nightmarish. Mangled metal, shattered glass, and the cries of the injured filling the early morning air. Emergency responders arrived swiftly, but the terrain, darkness, and the position of the overturned bus made rescue efforts extremely difficult. Firefighters had to cut open parts of the bus to free trapped passengers, while medical teams scrambled to tend to the wounded. 13 students died at the scene, and 2 more succumbed to injuries in the hospital, bringing the death toll to 15. 33 others were injured, their lives forever scarred by the trauma of that night. Investigations revealed that the bus had been speeding and that its driver had a record of 18 traffic violations, 13 of which were for speeding. The bus itself had also failed multiple safety audits. Dash cam footage later confirmed the reckless overtaking attempt that had triggered the catastrophe. Despite the chaos and loss, no fire broke out, though the risk had been terrifyingly close. The public reacted with shock and grief. Social media was flooded with messages of condolences, and hashtags like War Upsi Berduka and Shaukas Tragedi Jerik trended nationwide. Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim and other government officials expressed sympathy to the victims' families and called for measures to prevent such tragedies in the future. Prayer gatherings, memorial ceremonies, and charity drives were organized to support the bereaved families. Over R2 million in aid was collected and distributed, and universities stepped in to ensure injured students could continue their studies. Legal proceedings followed swiftly. The driver, Mohd Amirul Fadil Zulkifli, was charged with 15 counts of dangerous driving and 1 count of reckless driving. He pleaded not guilty but was released on bail under strict conditions, including a driving ban. Investigators also discovered that the bus company had breached multiple safety regulations, including subletting the vehicle permit without approval, failing to monitor drivers via GPS, and neglecting mandatory safety protocols. Authorities immediately revoked the company's operating license, and legal action against the operators was pending. The Garek bus crash became a stark reminder of how fragile life can be on the road. A moment of recklessness, a curve taken too fast, and a chain of human errors and systemic failures turned a routine return trip into a tragedy that claimed 15 young lives. For the survivors, their families, and the nation, the haunting memory of that night lingers shadows of a bus tumbling down a hillside, cries echoing in the darkness, and the question that remains: how many of these tragedies could be prevented if safety, responsibility, and vigilance were treated with the seriousness they deserve?